There's something different about Waffle House than basically every other chain restaurant or store across the country. Whenever something like a McDonald's or a Dollar General pops up into another small town, you can feel a piece of the culture being ripped away. Whether it is a small business being, that maybe used to be in that building or that used to be in the area, that has been replaced or is going to be replaced, whether it is a maybe local restaurant that is no longer there. Also, in the building structures, because all of these buildings, because every McDonald's and Wendy's basically looks the same, it is a corporate culture. This kind of corporate, this other world is kind of coming into these small towns and ripping away a small piece of their culture. There's something about Waffle House that it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a Waffle House in a small town can easily become a part of the culture. I don't think you get that with any other chain restaurant. I really don't. So why is that? I was thinking about it this morning. I just attended Waffle House a couple of hours ago. And while I was at work today, thinking about the upcoming trip to Waffle House, got to go coffee. I was thinking about why. What is it about Waffle House? Waffle House is the only chain that when I think about it, I smile. Just you mentioning Waffle House, and I'm full of joy. You all know I'm not a guy who's typically full of joy. And so I was like, maybe it's just kind of the crappiness of it. Right? Waffle House is not very clean. It's not like a high quality place. And so I think like the low quality nature of it there's a charm to that, right? So I was thinking that that's what it was, but I just don't think that's quite right. Because there are other chains that are kind of like Arby's is pretty crappy, but it's just different. It's a completely different thing, the crappiness of Arby's compared to a Waffle House. So what is it? Well, I'm going to get to that in a second, but first we need to address a couple of other things. Since when did Waffle House give away hats? This is literally just a Steak and Shake hat, but it's Waffle House. Where did this come from? When has this been a thing? Is this a thing? I'm not sure. I've never seen it before until tonight the waitress put it on my head. There was a specialty waffle that is for sale right now at Waffle House because they're celebrating their 70-year anniversary, and it is a birthday cake waffle. Now, I'm a bit of a jokester. I like to laugh. I like to have a good time, and I'm very funny. So when it was my turn to order my food, I was going to get the birthday cake waffle, and so I asked her, does it need to be my birthday to get the birthday waffle? I'm taking a quick break here just to let the laughter die down. And somehow, some way, I really don't remember exactly how, but we just kind of did this bit where we just pretended it was my birthday. And so a different employee took one of her own dollars and went to the Touch Tunes and played the Waffle House birthday song. There's a Waffle House hat and a birthday song. I assume this is just a birthday hat because she put it on me while they were singing the song. So on the Touch Tunes, there's like this Waffle House specific happy birthday song. And so she immediately she hits play on it, and this girl just starts dancing. This 40-year-old mom starts dancing. I have never talked to her before. She wasn't even my waitress. She just starts dancing. So we start dancing at our table with her. I'm there with me and my two buddies, nobody else in the Waffle House. We're dancing with the waitress who isn't ours, who we don't know. Later on, I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but later on, she would kind of talk to us for 5 or 10 minutes about both of her kids and how awesome they are, and also how her daughter, just takes all of her money. And so, later on, we got to have a bit more of an in-depth conversation with her. I learned a little bit more about her life, but at that moment, I didn't know she had kids. Yet she was dancing. How beautiful! At the end of the Waffle House birthday song, it plays the actual birthday song, like the happy birthday to you. When they got to the happy birthday to insert name, the Waffle House employees were like, happy birthday. One of the girls was like, happy birthday. I don't know what your name was. So nobody really enjoys having the birthday song sung to them. It's weird. It's like there's a lot of people and all of their attention is on you. And as someone who enjoys attention, I don't like this kind of attention. It feels weird because you can't do anything. These people are singing, right? Nobody likes this. This is not I don't need to elaborate on why I don't like people singing the birthday song to me because nobody likes it. Nobody likes being sung the birthday song on their birthday. Like, that's really weird. It is a little, it's a little less weird when it's not your birthday. So my birthday's in April, like 6 months from now. Yet it was still like 6 or 7 people just staring me down and singing the happy birthday song to me. And it was weird. It was uncomfortable like it normally is, but it was just a little less because I think it was just a little easier to disassociate, to pretend I'm not there. Because it's like, oh, it's not even my birthday. This isn't happening. People aren't singing the happy birthday song to me. It's not my birthday. So I was able just to repeat that thought in my head for the whole 30 seconds. Get the waffle. It's very good. Has some whipped cream on it. It's very good. Really enjoyed the waffle. Waffle Houses are always a little cleaner than I remember. Sometimes when I think about the crappiness of a Waffle House, I'm always like, oh, they're always kind of dirty and gross. All the ones in my area, I mean, they're not like spotless, but like they clean off the tables. They wipe things down, right? So I think I do want to give Waffle House a little bit of credit in that regard. So, a couple other people start to walk in. Me and my buddies, it's one of those things where like the service is fast. Like she puts in our order in 2 minutes. We have our food in 10. So we eat our food real quick. She drops off the bill, and then we talk for like an hour. We're just hanging out. We're chatting. By the time we go to check out, to have them ring up our bill, which, by the way, Waffle House is fine because I know, but is there anything worse than not knowing when someone drops off a bill if you need to just give it to the waitress or if you need to go up to the front and pay for it? That sucks when you don't know. Where am I supposed to go pay for this bill? Where? You know? Like, that is something that's just, it's frustrating, it's overwhelming, and it is, it's one of those things where it is a stress and anxiety that does not need to exist because the waiter and or waitress could have just told you, or there could have been a sign. But it always happens when you go somewhere new you haven't been before. And so you're always just a little less comfortable there because you've never been there before. And then you don't know if you need to drop off this check or bring it to the front. And then you're asking around everyone at the table, do we pay here or do we bring this up at the front? I don't know. Everyone's looking around. I don't know, right? 6 people having panic attacks, all because the waitress didn't want to clarify for us. But I've been to Waffle House enough. I know I go pay at the front. We pay. I'm the last one to pay. I'm still wearing my hat. My waitress, very nice lady, she took excellent care of us, was very nice to us. We had good laughs about the birthday thing. She was like, there was no one else there, so she had nothing else to do, but she was always like, y'all want water? Y'all want coffee? What do y'all want? And I appreciate that. It's good service. She just says, oh, and happy birthday. We both chuckle a little bit. But then this lady, who I think is just an old 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah. 60s. She's hanging out with some of the employees. I think she knew the girl who danced to the birthday song. She overhears it and she's like, "Oh, it's your birthday! Happy birthday! How old are you?" I'm 22 years old, is what I tell her. And then the waitress was like, "Yeah," and he ate his whole waffle and everything, which is like something you say like a 4-year-old kid. It was just kind of funny. And I was like, "Yeah, but there's no candles." Ugh. I kind of like, can you believe that? And the old lady's like, wow, I can't believe that they didn't give you candles. And everyone else is kind of committing to this bit about how it's my birthday. And by the way, this is not that spectacular of a story. I want to clarify that. This story is not all that spectacular or interesting. But that's fine. So everyone commits to the bit. She says, like, oh, is your night over, I assume? Because it's like 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. That's kind of sad. Subway to celebrate your birthday?" And I was like, "Yeah, but we'll just wait till the weekend and we'll get the party started." And she's like, "Yeah, that's right." And then we all walked out. I smiled at everybody, said, "Have a good night," and then we left. And I'm smiling as I'm leaving. And all three of my buddies are smiling. And we step outside. It's cold. It's kind of rainy. We talk for another 10, 20 seconds. These are the two guys who I lived with in college. And so before we leave, anything we do, we all huddle up and do a group hug, and then we jump around and scream, "Yay." And so we do that. We get in the car. I drive home, and now I'm here. But that specific feeling of walking out of that Waffle House with a smile on my face, everyone inside has a smile on their face. If you don't kind of realize what I'm getting at, it's the people. Obviously, it's the employees. Something in your life probably has to not go your way to work at Waffle House, right? Like, not that there's anything wrong with working at Waffle House, but like, and so like I've been to different Waffle Houses at times where employees aren't always in a good mood, and I don't blame them at all. But it is the most interesting people working at these Waffle Houses. It is people. It's a lot of older people. It's a lot of people who have just lived life and are trying to pay their bills. And you do get to interact with people at a Waffle House maybe a little bit more than most restaurants, heck, or even stores, just because like the cooks are hanging out right next to you. The waitresses are just like around talking to people. And I just think there's a lot of beauty inside a Waffle House because of the people. Because it's always so many interesting people with so many interesting stories to tell. I mean, I do believe it's a beautiful place to be on this planet. I've heard stories. I've seen people yell. I've seen people hurt each other at Waffle Houses. I've seen fights. I've been to a Waffle House that I think got shot up the next day. All that stuff happens at a Waffle House. Yet I do think a night like tonight is kind of Waffle House at its most beautiful. Just employees who don't really want to be... The way I'm going to describe this maybe isn't beautiful, but it's so human. Just a bunch of people who don't want to be there trying to get by. And to have kind of built friendships. Like all the employees there tonight were like... They seem like friends. As you are with your employees who you work with at a certain point. And yeah, just the people in Waffle House have always made me smile more than anywhere else I've ever been. So at this point now, you're probably wondering, why is this titled about the chocolate milk? We do live in an imperfect world, a fallen world, as Christians would put it. And there is something about Waffle House I don't particularly appreciate. It's hard because I have just spent the last 12 minutes of my life talking about how amazing Waffle House is. But there is something in the chocolate milk. Now, I am living, breathing, and talking tonight because I had their coffee and not their chocolate milk. The first time me and all my housemates went to Waffle House together, like 2 years ago, junior year of college. We all super giddy to be there. It's like midnight. A little bit of context. I went to a very Christian conservative school where there was like a curfew. You couldn't stay up past midnight. Stupid. And so we're out there at like 1 a.m. at Waffle House. Living the life, man. Living the college life. And we all got the chocolate milk. This Waffle House was 20 minutes away from our house. We all get the chocolate milk. We all have a big time. We're laughing. We're talking shop. We're shooting the bull. And just the way that changed so quickly. The way that the vibe went from ha 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 to was pretty immediate. I decided to chauffeur them that night. I was the DD, except for I also partook in the chocolate milk, and all of us in pain on the way home. Just agony. I was pretty sure they were going to dookie all over my car. One of them threatened to lay feces everywhere. Not like lay it literally, but I don't know. The word lay, I'm using that verb because it paints an interesting picture of somebody pooping all over a car, right? That's why I said that word. The other person threatened to lay a puke all over. See, that doesn't work. The other person threatened to puke in my car. Neither of those things happened. But we get back home. There's 3 of us and there's 2 bathrooms, and they both rush into the bathroom, and I kind of fight for my life on the couch for another 20 minutes. And that has happened every time I've seen someone have Waffle House chocolate milk. I've had it 5 or 6 times over the course of my life. Always feel terrible afterwards. I've seen other friends do it. None of them ever feel good. Everybody feels terrible after having the Waffle House chocolate milk. And look, I have grown and matured. I no longer partake in it. But it's one of those, it's like, you got all those kids with the marshmallows in front of them. You tell them not to eat the marshmallow. They eat the marshmallow. This isn't a great metaphor because I'm pretty sure that whole experiment was used for something else. But basically, I get to Waffle House. That chocolate milk bangs. That chocolate milk, it bangs. It does. It uses protection, right? But it bangs. And that is the worst part, I think, to me about Waffle House, is that the chocolate milk is so good and makes you feel so bad. Because that's just what all these other chains do. Right? All these fast food places that have tore up, that are literally in every town in the country. How the heck? How? All right, these chain restaurants, these Dollar Trees that are literally in every single city or town. It's what they do is a bit of a lie. It's crappy food that's not that good for you, that doesn't leave you feeling very good. But sometimes it does taste good in the moment. And I'm not saying the general Waffle House food is good for you or makes you feel good, but the atmosphere, right, kind of overcomes that. But I tell you what, those nights after the chocolate milk, right now I'm sitting here smiling, reflecting on my time at Waffle House. When that chocolate milk's in your stomach, you don't get to do that. It's just pain and agony until your body lets you rest. Then you wake up the next morning thinking about how crappy you felt and not how much joy you experienced at Waffle House. I understand this has been a pretty meandering conversation. We've been all over the place. And I appreciate you being here for the ride. But I think I just want to encourage people to go to Waffle House and not drink the chocolate milk. See what happens. I promise. It's going to change you.